Hey guys, welcome back to G-Man Games. Today, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 favorite video games, and partially why I really enjoy them. So, I'll just start up now. At number 10, I have Pokemon Legends Arceus. I really liked this game because it took the Pokemon format, which I obviously love, and expanded upon it, added more features, new catching mechanics, a new battling system which is it takes a long time to get used to it, and it's very different from regular Pokemon, but I ended up really enjoying it, unlike some people, and I think it's not an underrated game, but I think since the Nintendo Switch era, it's the best Pokemon game, by far. At number 9, I have Pokemon Black 2. This is another one of my favorite Pokemon games. I just think it has a really good story. Some of my favorite Pokemon memories I had playing that game, and the team building I'd done, and finding it hard, and then having to actually more so learn to play the game. And it was the first Pokemon game I ever really struggled with and had to actually train and prepare for the battles, and I just really have enjoyed doing that in most of the Pokemon games since. At number 8, I have Pokemon Platinum, which is the last Pokemon game on this list for a while. But Pokemon Platinum, I love it because it's, in my opinion, the hardest base Pokemon game, and it's just, it took Diamond and Pearl, which, without some flaws, is really good, and fixed those flaws and made it better, even. And it's also the generation that added Gallade, which is my personal favorite Pokemon. And it's just a really good game. It has a good story. It has the hardest fight in all of the main Pokemon games, in my opinion. And it's just overall a really good game. At number 7, I have Fortnite, specifically for during 2018 to 2021, around when it was in its prime. And this is mostly just because of all the good memories I had playing with my friends, and us playing every day after school, and just all the good times we had playing that game, and the amount we played it is just really nostalgic, and it was always fun back then. But the reason it's not higher up is because for the past while, even though it's still been a good game, it has really taken a dip in quality, and it will never reach the same level it was back when it was in its prime. At number 6, I have The Last of Us Part 2, which I know is a very controversial game for many reasons, and when I first played it, I agreed, and I thought it wasn't really good, and I stopped playing it for a few weeks when I got midway through, because I was mad about some of the choices they made in the game design. But after thinking about it and actually playing the game, I believe it is better than the first one even, and it has just a really good story, and I really like the sort of stealth-related combat that they have in it, and it's just better than the first game in terms of that. And the story, where it switches between characters, I found that a really interesting way to format the game. But there are still certain flaws with it that I didn't like. At number 5, I have Sekiro. And this game is probably the single hardest game I've ever played. But it's a game that is really hard once you first play it and you're learning the game. But it becomes not easy, but it's much easier once you learn the combat and start to get a hand on it. But it is my favorite combat system in any video game, even with Pokemon and like the turn-based combat. I love that, but with Sekiro, all the sword swinging and the parrying, I just love doing that, and I always found it really like energizing, and you had to have a good reaction time, and it helped train my reaction time and help me think faster, and the combat is just incredible in that game. And the boss fights, and just everything about it, except for really the story, I just love. In fourth place, I have Expedition 33, which is a recent game. I didn't play it actually until earlier this year, but it is, in my opinion, the best game that's released in the past 5 years. And it's just incredible. It takes the Pokemon turn-based combat ideas, similar to that, and the Sekiro parrying, and they just take those sort of systems, mix them together, make a few adjustments, and that's the combat system in that game. And I don't think it does anything better necessarily in those games, but I think it's just as good, and unlike Sekiro, it has an incredible story. The story in that game is amazing. It has incredible music while playing. It's replayable because you can use different weapons and attack abilities and whatnot when you play through it. And it's hard, but not extremely hard, and I do like that. And it's just everything I love about games like Pokemon. Sort of better, but I still do think some of the Pokemon games are better. In third place, I have Elden Ring. And this game is just, I have spent way too much time playing it, I feel like, than what I should have. Because even though I have played it, it's made me really angry at times, I can't not have fun playing it. It has really good replayability using different weapons and different builds. You can do it in just about any order for most of the game, with the order what boss you fight when, as it works open world. It's hard, but it's probably the second hardest game I've ever played, but I never really found it unfair. And it's one of the only games I've actually done a challenge in, where I managed to beat it at level 1, which it was really raging. I raged a lot, it made me really mad, but it also gave me a really good experience, and I really did like beating that game at level 1, and I just found it really fun to do. Numbers 2 and 1 are very much biased picks based off of nostalgia. At number 2, I have Yokai Watch 2 for the 3DS. This game I played a lot when I was younger. Me and my brother, because similar to Pokemon, it had 2 version exclusive games. We got both of them, and we constantly played it together, and it was always just an incredible experience, and yet again, it's replayable because, like Pokemon, you can use different teams every time, and the game itself, it doesn't have a great story, but I did enjoy it, and I do like the way that combat works as well. It's not amazing, but I do really like it. Even now, when I'm older, I still have replayed the game and found it really fun. But at number 1, actually no, before number 1 there are some honorable mentions, which are The Last of Us 1, similarly to 2, really good combat, amazing story. In terms of story games, second or third, behind The Last of Us 2 and Expedition 33. But it is also still a really good game. I do just prefer the original over it. And the other honorable mention is Spider-Man 2, which is I always found it was a really good game. I know some people think it was not as good as the first one, or it's just not good in general, but I love that game, and even though there were more deserving games, in my opinion, it was deserving of at least some of the awards at the Game Awards 2023, maybe even Game of the Year. But people do very much disagree with that. That's just my opinion. But at number 1, Pokemon Omega Ruby. Extremely biased pick. It's the first, not just Pokemon, because it's the first video game I've ever played. It's the game I've probably played the most behind, well, Fortnite. But just the replayability, the nostalgia, every factor of that game. In terms of game design, it's not the greatest. There are much better Pokemon games even. But it's just the joy I always have when I replay that game, and the memories I have had in the past playing it as a kid. All that together, it just makes me love that game, and nothing will probably ever beat it at number 1, just for those reasons. Thanks for watching, guys. That's my top 10 favorite video games. And if you have any other top 10 videos or video ideas in general, put them in the comments down below and I'll try to make them. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.